Please.
Music.
Okay.
Okay, we should be back.
I think we should just play the music the whole
No.
time.
No, the unlucky online people won't know what music we were playing.
Show up to the meetings. The random things happen here.
All right. Are we live again?
It's showing live, but the thing is spinning, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not.
Got the notice it was live again.
I know.
Like, do you think it's gonna be a new? I don't know. I don't have very good
It's
signal
working.
in here either.
It is live?
We are live?
Oh,
All right.
Hey!
All right.
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Thank you for
Internet issues.
Yes, thank you for enjoying our technical difficulties.
I mean, we enjoyed our technical
We did.
difficulties.
We did. We had a great party here. You should join us live to find out what happens. But back to the very exciting going through all of our department updates. Photography. Do we have a photography?
I don't think anybody
No
knows
Danny.
it.
Yeah,
No, we don't
Dan's
have
not here
Danny.
today.
Presumably we have other people in the department somewhere. But,
He took good pictures at Twin Cities Con.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing from photography.
Oh man, it's me.
Fire division.
Hey, Artist Alley and Exhibit completed their lottery and jury stuff, so
Excellent.
I believe within the next week or two, that is when all of the acceptance and waitlist emails will go out. We had so many applications. So many.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It's a good problem to have, but God, it takes so long to go through them all.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really good. We should have more space in both Exhibit
Yeah.
Hall and our
We
assembly.
are
so.
expanding in both. I believe the plan is to also expand the walkways, because apparently 10 feet was not enough. So they're working on that as well to hopefully make it a little more breathable to get through spaces.
So we do still have Charity's Head as an open position. I know I have talked to people who said they're going to apply, or they know somebody who's going to apply, so somebody should apply.
So like make them apply. Like sit them down and don't let them leave until they apply. I have too much work.
Cosplay hasn't talked to me. Do you know any updates from Cosplay?
They are still going through looking for another judge. I know 2 of the judges have been announced. So, and then we should have a couple non-judge cosplay guests as well that they're looking into. So it's going to be a real good year for cosplay fans.
Yeah. And then guests.
So much work. I am knee deep in flights. It's consumed my life and contracts. Please, we have somebody who's applied. Hopefully they work out because I have too much work to do.
Yes.
Your job's going to be so easy.
So we are interviewing them soon, which means we will also probably be closing the position soon. So, or possibly.
I hope.
Depends. Yeah, there's a lot of possible ways that guests will work. So we may or may not actually. But if you are interested in potentially being a current or future guest head, please do let us know.
If you're also interested in being a liaison, please apply so I can interview you.
Yeah.
Because we do need liaisons as well as somebody to run the green room as well as our help desk so people don't have to bother people at the tables for when signature timings are and prices and all that fun jazz.
All right. And then tabletop. I don't think we have any tabletop.
Not too much. I know he's in contact with Gnome Games. We will, with one of our fun announcements, also have some fun stuff for him later with that. So
Yes. Really soon. Apparently there might be something I forgot to do. Or
yeah,
something
there
that-
is something you forgot to do.
Or Buttons can't find an email that I sent a while ago. We'll find out. All right. And electric division.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Accessibility. Kaidi, do you have anything you want to share?
I know we were looking for a few more staff members because we're gonna have to staff tables at both hotels because where registration is. So I'm not sure how that's going. I've reached out to a few people to try and apply, but haven't really heard much.
Okay.
Other than that, we're doing pretty good, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Just repeating what you said for the stream. Accessibility is just looking for a few additional staffers to help out since we're going to be putting tables in both hotels. Onto logistics. Like I mentioned last time, Tabby stepped down from logistics, so I'm going to be interim logistics head. If you are interested in that position, please put in an application, let us know so we can get interviewed. Logistics is also just looking for a few more staffers. I have a note on that I'm going to get to in talking about staffing's notes. But if you're interested in helping out with the load in and load out of the con, please join the logistics department.
Yeah, and just to say too, that is what our logistics department is primarily maintaining the storage space, load in, load out. I know that word means a lot of different things in a lot of different contexts.
Yep.
So, and to clarify, if you haven't been reading the materials, that's what it actually is.
The other side of things is also maintaining our storage locker, which, relevant to that, our inventory is largely complete. I'm still waiting on a few forms from a few folks who did their inventories. But once I have all of those, that'll be compiled, and we will have our inventory complete for this year, and be pretty much set until the con.
All right, Liz, what do you got for staffing?
She is at home.
Yeah, Liz can't make it today. She didn't send me any notes for her, but one thing I will say for her is fill out the event if you have not. Please, please, please fill out the event we will resend out that form after today.
Yep.
JC will, and I will make sure of it. There's a direct link to it. Please, please, please fill it out with the department or departments you are going to be working in, especially if you are department head or subhead.
Yeah, and even if you're not any of those things, if you're just looking to get involved now for the first time, please do fill that out. It is the easiest way to get involved. We do have an incredible staffing head now. She will, I promise, make this easy and help you find where you want to be and what you want to do for it.
The sooner you fill out that application, the sooner staffing can get you to a department that you want to be in.
Yes. Yep. And we're also going to be talking about benefits again in a minute, and you want to get in sooner so we can get those things squared away.
Is that available off the website, the event?
It should be.
I was just gonna ask,
Yeah.
should we, cause so right now on this planning meetings page, it says if you want to join staff, contact staffing. Should we add a link to the app?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the question was, is the Eventney link on our website? The answer is no, but it will be soon.
It is on the Discord for anybody who's on Discord.
Yeah.
It's under important links, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Tech.
So if you're currently staff, fill it out.
Yeah, also that, yes. Tech services. I know that we had a meeting along with Bruce with Encore, so we're locking down. That's our AV. They do the AV, all the AV stuff at the hotel. So it's one of those things, they're separate from the hotel, but they are the exclusive AV provider for anything that needs to happen at the hotel.
Mhm.
So
For
we
labor.
work with them every year. We do quite a lot with them. I think it was a really good meeting. Sounds like our prices are going to be in a good place for the next several years,
Mhm.
which is always a big budget concern. So.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely working on locking in our prices for the next, I believe, 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And that'll be very good for budgeting purposes, especially. It'll make that line item much simpler than it has been.
So should be really good.
That's nice.
Yes. Video. Lee did just send an email right before this. He said, things are going good. Nothing especially monumental to announce. And then our new department heads are right at the end of the list. So Caitlin is here. Yay! Would you like to say anything about volunteers?
For now, I just want to make sure that all the department heads fill out the forms for their volunteer staffing requests. In addition to that, I am on the lookout for more staff members. We are currently down to 6, and we can run it as a skeleton crew on 12. So I'd like at least 6 more. I already have somebody who might be joining, moving from registration to ours.
It can be both.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Potentially.
We can share.
Depends on how it works out.
Sharing's caring.
Yes. But I'm desperate in need due to the fact that 2 of our members, they just told us that they are expecting. So
Yeah,
And
do a couple weeks
expecting
after
what?
detour.
yeah.
A baby.
They are staying.
So you're saying we're gonna get the first decoy baby?
So this-
Came
So
close with
close.
Ventura one year.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah, it did.
We've come close a couple of years. We had somebody had a false pregnancy scare way back at the
Yeah.
Doubletree.
Oh man.
So, other than that, just working on figuring out all of the forms I have to fill out. But I did get the website information updated, so that should all be up to date, as well as a volunteer form for attendees to sign up.
Okay. Cool. So I'm guessing most of that came through, but if not, I'll try to summarize it quickly. Volunteers sent out an email to all department heads with the form to fill out for volunteer requests. Volunteers is seeking more staff themselves. Volunteers has a form up as well for attendees to sign up for volunteer slots. And I'm missing one. What am I missing?
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
That was good? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a specific deadline in mind for department heads to get you their volunteer needs?
It was listed in the original email, but January 31st.
January 31st. Okay. And you should also talk to Cass about getting that on the global calendar, which is
I
going.
already put it on.
Ah, never mind. You win. All right.
My folks are good.
Excellent. We
Bruce is-
will really be needing that come the new year because that is when stuff starts happening quickly. So
The calendar will fill up so fast.
yes, I'm not harping on it this meeting. I will be next meeting.
So there's a question in the chat going, is there a deadline for the volunteering form? I'm
Yes.
I'm
For
assuming-
volunteering form, it's mostly just for registration to start or any initial, their first shift is what it's going to be for. So that will be, I believe, March 1st
Okay.
would be the last I accept the
Okay.
early.
So early volunteer signups may close about March 1st.
Yeah.
We'll see as we get a little closer to that.
Okay.
And then we have video production head, Pico.
Pico could not make it today, but we did choose a video production head, Pico Pastel. She's joining us. She's the video production head for Furry Migration as well. Also helps out with that for VGM Con here in town. So far, we've just had a few meetings to kind of get things started. We stopped at the locker with Tristan from Tech to talk about what tech's available for the department, start transferring some of those things over, and start basically making a plan to have a great stream for Anime Tour 2025. We're still working with Tech to kind of like figure out where the connections, both physical and informational, need to be between Tech and video production, like passing video feed and audio feed between each other. We've had a meeting that's gotten pushed twice just because of very unfortunate circumstances, but we're working on having that meeting here pretty soon. And if you are interested in helping out with video production is going to be doing all sorts of things at Con and before Con. Before Con, going to be focusing on making bumpers and advertisements for various things at Con. Just basically things to put in the middle of some of the streams. We call those interstitials. Additionally, at Con, we're going to be looking for people who want to do streaming, video mixing, building out the stream and making sure it looks good, as well as camera operations, and potentially a few other roles at Con once we get a firmer plan together. If you're interested in helping out with any of those things, please shoot a message to either myself or Pico Pastel, which is pico.pastel@animedetour.com.
All right. Thank you. So, please apply for remaining openings. I will send this out like I always do a little bit after this meeting. This link is in every single one of the spreadsheets too, or the PowerPoints, so if you have an old PowerPoint, you should have it. I hope it's still accurate based on the new website.
No.
Okay, cool.
I remember having the thought of trying to make the URL the same, and I finished.
Yeah, so ignore this, don't go here. Find it on the new website. Hopefully it's easy because the new website is better. And then I will update this before I email it out. ATC announcements.
Okay.
Did I get this right?
What do you know? Yes, you did. Okay, so we are having a special election to replace our treasurer because Sky needs to step down. She's going back to school and working full time. And so we're having the interview with Jeanette on the 19th, and then the special election will go live for voting members on the 20th.
That's the public interview, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like the board will ask questions, and then the public can have a Q&A as well. And basically, Jeanette's been with Detour since 2012, so I don't see there being any issues. So I'm very excited to have someone to replace Sky, so she doesn't have to keep trying to do it in her spare free time. Other ATC announcements. The roadshow team will be going to Colossal Con later this month, so that's exciting. And then there is a charity gala for a scholarship, Mondale Scholarship, tonight with the Japanese American Society of Minnesota, and so a couple of us are going to that.
Who's going?
I am, and JC is. I spent an hour and a half last night trying to find an outfit. That was fun.
And I cheated and just brought one of my suits on from work.
Yeah, no, they got it easy. Okay, and that, I can't think of anything else right now, so we're good.
Related to just the treasurer stuff, because we are separating out again the ATC treasurer from the Detour treasurer. Detour does need a treasurer, which we should get up on the forum as a separate thing if we don't have it already. We do? Okay.
Yeah.
But right now Cass is filling in for that, and we also sent a form to all the department heads to please use before you spend money. If you're looking for to use one of the cards and make a big purchase somewhere, fill out the form beforehand. If you spend your own money and are seeking reimbursement, fill out the form afterward. Both of those options are in the form, so it's just one form, whichever way you're doing it. Obviously, you all have approved budgets, so you are free to start spending money. We just want to make sure that we can account for it, and that when we do have, when Cass is working on it, she has the information she needs, and then hopefully when we get a more permanent treasurer in place, we will have a nice history and a nice documented bit of information they can work from instead of having to cobble together 300 emails.
And just we're calling it the financial operations assistant, basically to assist the Anime Twin Cities treasurer.
Okay. Financial operations assistant.
Fancy title.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put that on your resume.
Exactly.
All right. So event space is the other thing to talk about. It's mostly done. So all event spaces in both hotels have been assigned. The department heads have received the final room set, as well as maps with everything marked up. There was a draft that went out at Halloween, so there was a final period for any changes. I actually didn't get any changes from department heads. I did, of course, get a couple changes from other partners that we work with, because it has to be at least a little difficult. But we were able to accommodate those last minute switches, so I think everyone is essentially happy. And we have our plan as far as where everyone and where everything is going to be this year. So I'm really happy to be able to say that in November. I think that that's a much better place to work from. We also did add a number of information bits to the room set form. So it didn't used to have anything about when that room became available. I know Nikita already was talking about this in our meeting yesterday. So those have all been updated. So you will also see right away, when is your room available to you? You will know. Generally the answer is pretty early on Thursday. There's a couple that are different from that, but most of them are that way. And then we also have key types, because some of the rooms at the hotel have physical keys, some of them have RFID. A little bit of word on the RFID, basically a fob that you shake near the door and it lets you in. They only grant you access. They do not let you lock or unlock the door more permanently. So we're going to have to make a schedule for all of the rooms that have RFID of when you want that room to be unlocked in the morning and when you want it to be locked at night. That will also be in the room set to list there, but that's something that I want to work on this year as well. It's been an issue where we've tried to do it during the convention and just get a hold of security when we want a room locked, and that's not a smart way to do it. The hotel tells us if we tell them ahead of time, they'll do it ahead of time. So
It's much easier when they know what they have to do. Also, just to piggyback on that a little bit, if a room doesn't necessarily need to switch its status between lock and unlock a lot, we can leave the doors just locked and just prop them open. So if you've got a space where you don't mind if it's propped open and then just close the door and have it stay locked that way, we can do that too. So just make sure you're considering that when you're figuring out if you need these doors unlocked or if we can just leave them open.
Maybe a silly question after everything I said, but still gonna ask it. So say you do have a fob, does it work to unlock the door even when it's supposed to be locked?
yes.
Okay.
So,
Right,
the
it will,
fob
yeah.
will always open the door. It just
Okay.
won't switch the door between lock and unlock.
Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, that needed to repeat it at all. The point of the fob is to open the door. So it won't switch the door's basic status from locked or unlocked, whatever that is, but it will always open the door regardless of what status it's in.
And some of the doors still do have hard keys. It's erratic. It's on the room set. So
Yeah. Last year's room sets, as far as the actual setup in the room, as far as tables, chairs, water setups, I don't know what we call this.
Water stations.
There it is, water stations. All of that is already in there on the 2025 page. It's simply copied over from 2024 because I know a lot of those don't change. But please do go in, look at what your department controls, and if you want to make any changes, do make any changes. We do want to have that ready to go at the end of the year. That's not a strict cutoff. We have some ability to make changes after that, but we're hoping to make sure everyone's done that, and then we can hound anybody we need to or make any updates we need to after that.
Bruce has a question wanting to verify if tech will have access to the fobs, on the fobs to all of the programming rooms.
So we are working on creating a key list for who needs what access to what rooms.
And
So
currently, I did not have that in my request, so that is a good thing for Bruce to have
Yes.
noted. I will make sure.
So
he
yeah,
gets
we
that.
will have, depending on the rooms, different people will have multiple keys for each of the rooms. So some rooms 7 or 8 people might have access to, some rooms only 1 or 2, depending on who needs those spaces.
Yeah, and before we go to Allie, let me tell you now too, I've already made the draft list for who needs things, and generally, if your department is in a room, then your department's going to get a couple of keys. If you have specific requests that you want me to know about your rooms, email those directly to me or to the chairman team. I suppose you and I are both doing facilities, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nikita, me, or the chairman at Anime Detour, and we will certainly make adjustments as you make requests. Again, talking to Doug, it's pretty easy to get what we want. We just have to let them know what we want.
Yeah.
He brings it up because they didn't have access to Greenway last year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we will make sure that is not true this year. Now, Allie.
My question was just like, what's the process for requesting additional keys beyond just the ones for our rooms? Because typically, our department gets keys to everything.
Okay, that's good to know too. So send me an email for operations and just tell me what you want.
Same with the room sets there. Even if we're going to copy over the stuff from last year, if your stuff doesn't change, please send the facilities an email that says this room set looks good so we know you looked at it. If you don't respond to us at all about the room set, we may just copy over what you got last year. We may have to make changes to it depending on what other people are asking us, because there's a finite amount of tables and things we can get access to from the hotel.
Yeah.
So yes, please at least let us know that you looked at it. Otherwise,
I might add a column in the room set of just sort of like sign here, put your name down that you
Initial here that
agree.
you saw this.
Yes,
Yes.
that this
That
is
you
good to go.
looked at this and you are signing off on this.
otherwise you're getting the room set we give you, unfortunately, and we don't want to do that.
No. And yeah, bottom line, talk to me or Nikita for help doing this. We've both worked with this document a long, long time. And if you are a new department head and you're like, what on earth are they talking about? Look at it first. I think it's a pretty friendly form, but I also think in spreadsheets, so not everyone does. You might look at it and have no idea what's going on. Just set up a call with us or come meet with us at some point, and I promise it's not scary. It's pretty easy.
Just
So
think about anything you
we'll
might
work
need
through it.
a space. Like I said, tables, chairs, water stations. If you need power for tech, we need to put power requirements in there too, usually. So
Yeah.
anything you might think you might need in your space, just make sure it's in there.
For the rooms that do have more specific layouts, we do have the old ones on social tables through the hotel, and I think I got access for a number of people, everyone that I could think of that would need them. But if you feel like you do need those, because you do need to set up a specific layout for your room, and you don't already have an invite to do that, let me know. Now, department head vouching. This is basically the second half of the policy that we went through in quite a bit of detail last year. So now that
Last meeting.
yes, last month feels like a year to me. Last month. So now that we all know how it will work to get housing benefits and badge benefits, we do need the department heads to start filling out those, calling it vouching, but basically a staff list. Just tell us who is on your department and what they do. Do you believe that they're going to be a task qualified person that has, great responsibility for something that's obviously 18 hours, or are they going to have, or are they going to be counted hourly? So I have created a spreadsheet as well. That is kind of an example for how to do that. I'm running it right now by the other people on the chair team and staffing, so as soon as we all agree that it looks good and that that's what we should use, I will send that out to department heads, so look for that very, very soon. If you do not have a head of your department, your division head is going to develop that for that department, so make sure that you, if you're a regular staffer, you know who that is, you make sure that they know you're on their, that you're in a department in their division. Again, fill out event forms so we can know who everybody is. Yeah.
What if you're in like 2 different departments and splitting hours between them?
Yeah. The question is, what if you're in 2 different departments? A lot of people are. Eventme should have one listed as your primary department.
Yeah.
And so that's the one you'll be counted in. It doesn't mean anything at all as far as, what you're allowed to do or anything like that. And I guess the more interesting question there is how do you make sure that your duties in a different department also get counted?
Yeah.
And so I don't know that we have a great answer to that. I think this is one of those things we have to figure out as we go. So yeah, maybe just have your two department heads talk to each other. I would say still list you in the one that Eventney lists as your main.
Yeah.
But do make sure that that department head can also put in the information that you're doing for a different department.
And just to harp on it again, make sure you fill out the Eventney form, especially if you want the staff hotel rooms, because we're going off of what is in the Eventney room application. So if you haven't filled out Eventney,
Please
you're not
fill
getting
out Eventney.
you're not getting the link for the staff hotel rooms until you fill out Eventney.
Please fill it out.
So I'm hoping that initial vouching will be done by the next staff meeting. That's December 15th. That'll be a Sunday. That might be a little ambitious, but
I feel like it's a little ambitious.
and the point is, nothing needs to be decided at that point. The point of doing 2 rounds of the vouching is that I know a lot of you do have your hotel reservations already, and we want to be able to say, oh yeah, you're in, you're clearly vouched for, you're clearly going to get benefits. We can now have staffing confirm you have your room, it will be paid for, don't worry about it, we've got you. So we want to do that as fast as we can. If that doesn't happen in the first round, that's fine. There will be another round before the end of January to make sure that everyone is confirmed.
There is a question. It is not in regards to the department head vouching. However, he has asked it multiple times. Spec would like to know if we are bringing back Dead Dog.
I don't know what that is.
The after
The
staff
Sunday
group
night,
meeting.
Oh.
It's
Party
like
thing.
food.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like staff dinner.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it was
it's
after that.
It's for the people that have to go back to work after staff
Ah.
dinner. Then they
Oh.
do something again.
Gotcha.
It's
It's-
the free for all. Like we survived. Now we get to party.
Okay. I don't know.
It's
Ah.
something we'll consider, but we don't have an answer at this time for bringing back Dead Dog.
If it's something you like and would be interested in helping us do it right, let us know.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing coming from Specs.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the line here. Final confirmation will be done by January 31st, and department heads, obviously talk to your division heads if this is confusing to you. Again, right now, we're not expecting you to do anything this minute. We're gonna have that draft form. We'll send that out to you, and that's when we want you to start going. So you can already be looking at Eventney, make sure that you know how to see who your staff is on Eventney. Eventney does have a little bit of learning curve to it. But you'll be able to get that full list and just know who your people are and know who your subheads are. So you can start gathering that information now. Just a quick reminder of how this all works in case you've forgotten from last month or you weren't there. Department heads, subheads, and other staff with discrete tasks or responsibility that clearly involve more than 18 hours of work are called task qualified. You get all benefits simply by being task qualified, and all we need to know is what does that person do. So a brief description from the department head is sufficient. You'll get your staff badge, you'll get your housing. If you don't, yeah.
Does that mean, like, as far as the housing benefit, that doesn't apply if you have non-staff in your room, right?
It does.
Oh.
It's your room will get paid based on the rate that it works, 1 staff, 2 staff, or more. Basically, the non-staff just don't count. You can have them, you cannot have them, it won't change anything.
Okay.
The benefit you receive is entirely based on how many staff you have.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, there is flexibility. You can have non-staff now. So yeah, if you are not task qualified, then you are hour qualified if you're still seeking benefits. So it's for people who primarily do shift or other hourly work. All shifts, all department meetings, all Anime Detour meetings like we're having right now, any work that you do for the convention counts. And again, any common sense method of recording or approximating even the hours that you've done in this works for us. The form's not going to be very complicated. It's going to be how many hours doing this kind of a thing. Your best guess is good enough. 10 hours or being task qualified means that you get a free staff badge, and 18 hours means that you get the housing benefit. And again, since we're doing this now and we're doing the final one in January, nobody's going to know their AtCon hours for an exact fact. The whole point is you should know approximately what you're going to do and put that down.
if you only do 17 hours at the convention, we are not going to run you down and make you pay for the hotel room.
I mean, I might have you help for an hour in loadout, maybe.
If yeah, help out with loadout, help out with badging in spots where volunteers are low. Like there are places that you can do things.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. That mostly sums up this meeting. So our next meeting will be Sunday, December 15th at the Ridgedale Library, the Lady Slipper Room. We've been there once before, so if you happen to join us for that one, it should seem familiar. That is in Minnetonka. The remaining meetings are all next year. Holy crap, we're getting close to the end of the year.
Oh, that's right.
So we do double up once we get to the new year. January 4th, January 19th, February 8th, February 23rd, and then just the one in March 15th, and that is our battle plan. I know we mentioned this a little bit at the previous meeting. That was only a month ago, not a year ago. So we're going to have some training sessions. I feel like, again, one of the things that has perhaps been lacking in our organization in the past is just getting everybody on the same page about certain things, making sure everyone knows what are expectations, what are the rules, what are the basic things, where do you find things at the convention and find particular people. I know a lot of people are in one department, and they've only ever been in one department, and they frankly don't know what else is going on at the convention. So this is part of the plan, is to make sure that you do know how to find people and know how to do what you need to do. So we are going to have some training sessions, and we're talking about it now so that it's really, really clear and people understand what they need to do. You must send your department head or a representative of your department, if your department head cannot make it, to the March 15th meeting. Every department must do this for real. Because we're trying to cover that information to make sure everyone has this info, so department heads or whoever represents the department can pass it to the rest of the department.
Although we do really encourage, even if you can't make it in person, please watch the trainings online. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, and it's going to be stuff that we are going to expect you to abide by.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
we are going to go over guest etiquette, and if I have to have a conversation with you, it's not going to be a good one.
So, while we want all the department heads to try and be there or have a representative there, even if you're not a department head, still you can still come to this March 15th
Oh, yes.
meeting.
Yes.
It's not just for the heads. It's anybody can make it there. Just the heads are the ones who are being mandated on this.
Exactly.
And for those who can do math, you might notice there are only 6 meetings left before the convention. Alternatively, it's only about 4 months away.
I don't know
Just
what-
over 4 months away.
Yeah.
So, I know we've had a little bit of a slower start to this year, but we're going to have to really start thinking about getting our stuff in order because we are running out of time to get stuff planned ahead of time here. So.
Yeah.
Do you hear that sound? It's the sound of department heads collectively, internally screaming.
And I don't want to scare you because I think we're doing really well, actually.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the prep work is well done, but we are starting to enter that, okay, we need to actually
Yeah, don't
know
look at
the
putting
specifics
stuff off
now.
anymore. If we can do it now, let's start doing it now.
Exactly. Forget.
One, procrastinate till I die. What time is the meeting on Sunday?
I believe
It should be at 1
Is it
o'clock.
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock,
usual?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We almost always do them at 1 o'clock,
That's
so
what I thought.
it's a safe bet. But yeah, we probably should list it. All right. Anything else in the room? Anything else on the chat?
Just people volunteering to help with dead dog.
Okay. Sounds like it's gonna happen.
And Bruce.
While I'm here, do we know what the measurements for the badges are? Because for accessibility, we're looking at getting vertical ribbons to put on the side instead of trying to
Clarissa,
deal
is
with
it 3 by 5? We said.
Yeah, we're going with the 3 by 5 inch.
Okay, they're slightly larger than they were last
3
year.
by
Okay, so
5
we're looking
portrait
about-
or landscape?
3-inch on the edge
thing was
then.
the art, whether we wanted it vertical or horizontal.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
that depends on the art.
So, this is bigger, but it's the inside square right here, 3 by 5 inch.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we
So
always
can
have
you
done landscape
send me a
previously,
heads up
but
when you figure out which way it's
Yeah.
going?
I think it's mostly
No,
been
one
landscape.
Yeah.
year we did
Yeah,
portrait.
well, we're just thinking,
It's a long time ago.
doing,
That was
instead
one
of doing
time
the
ago.
That's a long time
ribbons,
ago.
just having a ribbon that's very visible
I think
on the
majority have
side.
been landscape, so
Yeah,
I think
the
that's
vast
what themes
majority.
usually.
Frankly, better looking for the badge anyways.
Yeah.
teeny cute is more.
We've done the landscape for most everything, and then select ones would be vertical to make them stand out for like
I was gonna
guests
say, I think,
or.
like, for some of the guests, they were vertical,
Yeah.
but-
There isn't any other questions though in chat.
Cool. Then I think we can wrap up our stream. Thank you all for joining us.
Make sure
online
you
or
sign
person.
in.
Yes.
Meeting after the meeting time.
We'll start the meeting after the meeting.